Well, hello to all my retorts out there. It's your boy, old Uncle Matty, Matt Lavella, coming by the one and only Bern Podcast. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast presents the Retorted Show. On this show, we're going to bring you some amazing, cool facts that maybe you know, maybe you don't, you probably don't, but you will after this. That's for damn sure. Then we're going to do a recap with me and your boy, Benoit Pahoud's week, and we're going to do a blind ranking of some cool, interesting stuff. And then, as always, we're going to fill in some comments left on our social media and YouTube channels and be responding to those comments in kind. So you better watch it. Benoit Pahoud, how are you, sir?
I'm doing just swell, my friend. Not as well as some of you Eagles fans out there, but I'm doing just fine. I'm getting by just fine. Thank you for asking.
Fine. Yep. Well, glad to hear you're getting by just fine. So let's get this thing started. Bern, would you like to commence to commenting?
Well,
if you don't say so yourself. All right. So first comment we got here comes from official Mark Smith. He's got 156 subscribers off of 26 videos. I feel like this guy has commented before. He's got Joe Rogan as his profile picture. And, you know, he's got some other stuff videos, but whatever. Either way, 156 subscribers off of 26 videos. Official Mark Smith is his name. Mark Smith is what he goes by. I left a comment on the Catherine Knight talks fetishes and German dungeon parties clip. I'll tell you this for free. J-Dub, Justin Richardson hadn't fallen in love. We had a bunch of a female adult performers on this show, and there was a handful of them that were quite good looking. And J-Dub didn't fall for any of them harder than he fell for Catherine Knight. He was all about Catherine Knight. Big fan of her, and she's a rocket. Don't get it twisted. She's a good looking lady. Not my type. She's a little too thin. I like some curves. Either way, but official Mark Smith commented on this clip saying, I just like holding a girl's hand. And then in parentheses, he put, still didn't do it though, but I imagine it's great. I'll tell you, Bern, this guy, he doesn't realize that holding hands will be the least of his problems. Honestly, like holding hands leads to maybe hugs. Then hugs leads to maybe a smooch. Then a smooch maybe leads to a beach or an H or a Z, right? And then that leads to maybe a poink, you know? And then that maybe leads to a little squall and little slap. And then after that, it leads to divorce and unhappiness. And that's just
before you know it, you're 42, you're divorced, and you're living at your mom's house, dude. So you're
missing those days of just holding hands, babe.
Yeah,
you know,
don't rush it, baby. Don't rush
it, daddy. You'll be holding hands before you know it. But that was the comment for this sector. Bern, you want to keep it moving? Some fun fact, cool stuff, kind of gimmicks.
Yeah, let's get to something better than that. That's for sure.
All right, Bern. Well, I got something, lately, you know what I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
Like before, maybe I would see a video here, something here, maybe flip that up there. But I see something, I'm like, I wonder what that is. And I just want to answer, I just want to answer my own questions,
Sure.
So, the word curmudgeon. You know anything about this word?
I know it's a fun word to say. And I know how to say. Apply it, but I couldn't give you its language of origin or where it comes from. No.
I heard someone say curmudgeon, Bern, curmudgeon. And I was like, what is the deal with curmudgeon? Like, what are we doing here? Where's curmudgeon come from? Right? So I did a little digging. You interested to find out?
Absolutely.
All right, Bern. Well, the word curmudgeon has a long and somewhat mysterious history. It first appeared in the English language in the late 16th century, around the 1570s, but its exact origin remains unknown. There are a few theories about where the word might have come from, but none have been definitively proven. One popular theory was that curmudgeon came from the French phrase ploy méchant, which means evil heart. However, this theory has since been discredited. Another possibility is that it's a combination of two older English words, cur, meaning bad-tempered dog, and mudge, meaning which meant grumble or complain. Regardless of its origins, curmudgeon has been used for centuries to describe a grumpy, irritable, and often miserly person. It's a colorful word that perfectly captures the image of someone who is always complaining and never seems to be happy. Over time, the word has become a popular way to describe certain type of character, and it's even been used in popular culture. For example, the character of Oscar the Grouch from the children's television show Sesame Street is a well-known curmudgeon. So, while we may not know exactly where the word curmudgeon came from, it's clear that it has become a permanent part of the English language. It's a word that is sure to continue to be used for generations to come to describe those among us who are always ready with a complaint or a grumble. So, there you go. That's curmudgeon, Daddy.
Yeah, the cur as like the ill-tempered dog, and the mudgeon is like a grumbler, complainer, mudge. Like that.
That's
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Honestly, this thing killed two birds with one stone because I heard someone I was watching the show Rome, as you know, great show, and Mark Anthony called someone a cur, right? And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I wonder what a cur is. So I guess it's a meaning a bad-tempered, ill-tempered dog, which great insult, you ill-tempered dog. I mean,
actually
if that's not the Roman insult, I don't know what is.
I like mudge. Like if someone's complaining, I want to now be like, oh, enough with the mudge already. We get it. Like I'm gonna start trying to work that in.
I like a little mudge. Mudge is nice.
I'm gonna see if I can get mudge going.
Well, that was the first one, Bern. Are you ready for my second thing?
Hit me, baby.
So I was thinking the other day. Do you remember the movie Rookie of the Year?
Henry Rowan Gardner, of course.
Henry Rowan Cheddar. There is a great line in that movie. Great movie, by the way. Great movie. Oh, yeah. Absolutely love Rookie of the Year. There's a great line in that movie where the best friend, I think his name was George, he said he was talking about a girl, and the girl was in the cafeteria like drinking milk. And he's like, damn, milk did that body good. Right? From that old commercial. You know what I'm saying? Milk did that body. Which great tagline. Milk does a body good. Like, come on. If that's not ingenious marketing, I don't know what is. So I was wondering, and I've heard this before, that milk builds strong bones. I have a buddy of mine, fan of the show, listener of the show. His name's Billy Madden. He just drinks milk like you would not believe. I've never seen anyone drink more milk in my life. And his claim to fame is never had a broken bone. So I wanted to do some digging. Bern, are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
The idea that milk builds strong bones is a long-held belief, and there's definitely some truth to it. Milk is a good source of calcium, a crucial mineral for bone health. Our bones are constantly being remodeled, with old bone being broken down and new bone being built. Calcium is a key building block for those new bones, making it essential for maintaining bone density and strength. Dairy products like milk also contain vitamin D, which helps the body absorb calcium. So, the combination of calcium and vitamin D in milk contributes to healthy bone development, especially in childhood and adolescence when bones are growing rapidly. However, the story is a bit more complex. While milk can be a good source of these nutrients, it's not the only source. Other foods like leafy green vegetables, fortified foods, and even sunlight for vitamin D production can also contribute to bone health. Also, factors beyond diet, such as genetics and weight-bearing exercise, play significant roles in bone strength. Some studies have even questioned the direct link between milk consumption and fracture prevention later in life. Therefore, while milk can be a part of a bone-healthy diet, it's not a magic bullet, and a balanced approach considering all contributing factors is most important. So, milk can do a body good.
I've never heard anyone use the term bone healthy diet before. Like, what are you up to this summer? Like, I'm really working on my bones right now, man. I'm intermittent fasting, mostly bone stuff, really trying to focus on those bones. You can't really see the gains. I just hope I don't break my toe on the coffee table at all.
Yeah, I had an ex-girlfriend that had a bone healthy diet. So, all right. Well, that's the fun kind of facts for this time. Bern, you want to head back to some commence of commenting?
Yeah, let's get back to the commence.
Let's commence to commenting. This comment comes from everybody's favorite Aussie, the one and only Miss Metal herself, Sue Matthews, aka Alloy1100. She left a comment on last week's round 1 of the Director's Cup, James Cameron versus Ridley Scott. She says, I must admit, I haven't seen Gladiators. I've seen Titanic and loved it. So I guess she's voting Titanic, but it doesn't matter because Titanic lost, Ridley Scott won, and Gladiator moved Ridley Scott to the next round. So,
Sure did. Sure
but
did.
just love knowing, Miss Metal. Maybe honestly, that's surprising because Russell Crowe is like the Australian Jesus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's an Aussie. It's surprising. I would have to imagine Gladiator was pretty well promoted down on that.
So that was the comment for this sector. Let's keep it moving. Bern, would you like to check in?
Why don't you go first this week, Matty?
Sure, would love to. Okay, so my time starts now. There was guess you would call it a big game, Bern, right?
There was a large game. Yeah, that's for sure.
Quite a large game where my guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, aka the world champions, no big deal. Best in the world, no problem. They dirt stomped the shit out of what was supposed to be the 3P Chiefs, and it literally bent them over a bale and showed them the 50 states. Absolutely incredible. Couldn't have happened to a better bunch of D-bags. Super excited for this. Loved every second of it. Got to see a little, exciting white guy magic, with a little pick six from your boy Coopy Dijon. And Bradley Cooper announced the team on the way out, which was great. It was just, honestly, it was more than I've ever dreamed of. And I never in a million years thought that the Eagles would, I didn't see the Eagles go to the Super Bowl till I was 20 years old, right? That was the first time they went, when I was 20 years old, right? I didn't see him go back to the Super Bowl for another 12 years, right? Since then, they've been back to the Super Bowl twice, right? In the last I guess it'll be 7 years. They've been back twice. And it's been great. And I don't want it to end, but I know it will. I know we'll go back to the fucking dregs and misery that was the previous eras. Like, I lived through the 90s. That was not great. I mean, there was a couple shining moments, losing to the Cowboys in the divisional rounds. Like, that was like the best we got, but we had to live through Ray Rhodes and Ricky Waters. And then, the beginning of the Andy Reid era was no picnic, but eventually turned it around, and mostly because of Jim Johnson. And then the end of the Andy Reid era, then the Chip Kelly era. What were we fucking thinking with the Chip Kelly era? Then Dougie P. Love you, Dougie P. Always loved Dougie P. And honestly, but there was like a lot of magic behind that Super Bowl win. Like, there's a lot of things like, we rallied behind the dog, like the underdog thing, and the defense got really hot at the right time. And Nick Foles he found some magic that he was never able to get back. Like, it was like a one-shot deal, like he was magical for those games, and that was it. And we were able to beat, Tom Brady, and it was phenomenal. But it just, it didn't feel like that was like, you kind of knew it was one and done, where this team now, like, I just could not believe the fucking shellacking. So super excited for me, super excited for my city, super excited for my team, super excited for everything. Football is great again, and it's because of the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's my time. Bern, go ahead.
I'm sure the Eagles will have dark days again in the future, but they'll never go back to a place where they had never won a Super Bowl.
Very much so. Yes.
And that breaks my heart.
You know how you guys beat Brady in the Super Bowl and we beat Brady in the Super Bowl?
We did it twice, though.
Yeah, you did. You did. But does it bring any like pride that the Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times, lost to the NFC East every time? Brady only lost in the Super Bowl to the NFC East. Like, does it hold a little bit of pride that the NFC East is just the fucking tits?
Nope.
Got it. All right, moving on, Bern.
Hit the clock. Yeah, what am I up to now? Let's see. Nothing too crazy, man. It's been a little quiet. I'm geared up to have the kids this weekend. Got to find something to do with my daughter, so me and my son could go see the new Captain America movie. Kind of stoked about that. Super Bowl was not that fun for me because I'm not a Birds fan or a Chiefs fan, so the game was kind of like pretty boring. Eagles kind of had it wrapped up like that. Once that pick six happened, it was kind of tough to figure out a way the Chiefs were going to make it work.
Yeah.
Commercials were good. I mean, they were fine.
Dude, the Thunderbolts movie preview looks so
looks
fucking good.
looks good. The only problem now is though, so it was $7 million for a 30-second spot, but I felt like half the commercials I saw or like bumped into days before. So
Yeah.
it's crazy to me to think about. Like you're paying $7 million for this Super Bowl spot, but now the in vogue thing to do is to like leak the commercials on Wednesday. It's like, how is the price of this spot going up? Anyway,
Yeah.
I digress. Made a little lasagna, smoked some chicken wings, so we had a pretty good
Ooh.
spread. So the food was good.
You had talked about smoking your wings. How did that go?
Smoked the wings turned out really good, and then we
Number
did
one snack. Number one snack for a football game is wings.
number one.
Always.
I also had some chips and dip. Got the snacks in there, so it was listen. It's a
And
Super
you made
Bowl,
a
man.
lasagna?
Yeah, I made a lasagna.
Stouffer's or like a legit
No,
lasagna?
no. Come on, man. Come on. We grown over here. But
Nice. Love it.
I don't know, man. It's a Super Bowl. I always enjoy the Super Bowl. I always get excited for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. It's a good spectacle. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
I thought Brady was okay. That's really all I got, man. Otherwise, it was a pretty slow week.
There you go. Well, that's your time. Very good. All right, Bern. Well, let's keep it moving to some comments. You ready, Daddy?
Pew.
This comment comes off of episode 243. Just to recap, Bern, we are on episode 427 was released. It was the most recent release, episode 427. And this is from episode 243. God damn, we've been doing this show for a long time.
So long.
So long. So long and so strong, Daddy. Episode 243. It's from your girl, Arabella Del Busso. She fought May 13th of 2023. She was on the show to promote that fight and was looking damn good while doing it. So Melissa Lazendon 419 left a comment on the Arabella Del Busso episode from May 13th, 2023, from May of 2023, saying, "What a moron. This thing who makes all women look terrible should get it beaten out of her."
There's a lot of grammatical issues with that, just as the English major in me. And I haven't even seen the punctuation, which I'm guessing is not much. But so another hater, another Del Busso hater.
Yep.
I mean, what? Guys, lighten up. She was delightful.
Yeah.
Our experience was delightful.
She's been nothing but cool. To be fair, Bern, the grammatical stuff, these people are Australian that are commenting, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But she was nothing but professional and nice when we dealt with her. So I don't know. Maybe, but also these people are probably railing from that she had like a really shitty 60 minutes movie like thing interview that they really butchered her. But if those people were to watch the 60-minute interview like I did, they repeat a lot of the same thing. Like it's the same clips over and over again in a different order. Like what an axe job, literally. So those that like all those people aren't acting off of like real knowledge or insight. They're all just like playing off of that one interview, which did not make her look good, but also it was a hatchet job. So I got nothing but love for Arabella Del Busso. She's been on the show twice. She was great both times. And then she was professional too. As far as like, she said she would do something and she did it. She said she would come on the show. She said she would promote the show, and she did that both times. And honestly, there's been a lot of other people in her position that have said that they would do those things and they did not. So she was, she was just true to her word, which I can't say the same about other people who might be held in higher standard because they didn't have a hit piece put out on them, but they did not stand true to their word of like helping promote our show and in the same time helping promote themselves because it was like a dual promotion. So, I got nothing but like she was nothing but professional with us. So I don't know why people fucking hate her so much, but either way, Bern.
If you want to experience what we experienced with Arabella Del Busso, go check out her 2 appearances on the Working Perspective podcast because you're going to get a way better impression of her than you did from that 60-minute piece.
Amen to that, Daddy.
That's all I can say.
Amen to that. All right, Bern. Well, that was the comment for this sector. You want to keep it on moving down the road.
Ooh, yes, I'm excited to see what we got this week.
Time to blind rank. Are you ready, Daddy?
As ready as I'm gonna be, baby.
All right, here we go. We are blind ranking desserts. You ready?
Ooh.
You ready for this? Excited for this?
Yeah, I'm real excited for this.
All right, here we go. First dessert. I'm going to go with tres leche. I cannot tell you how much I love a tres leche. Whoa. Excuse you. Did I hear that right?
Yep.
You said what number again?
5. It's a soggy cake, and I don't care for it.
So Cinco? You mean? Fucking Cinco? Tres leche is a Cinco? All right.
Cinco, baby.
Okay, how about this one then, Daddy? Where you putting macaroons?
I'm putting them at 4.
Okay, you cunt.
I've had more mediocre macaroons than I've had good ones.
How about some ice cream?
Ice cream's going number 2. And I'll tell you why it's going number 2. Because it's not only a main dessert, but also an incredible accompanying dessert. And I would like to maybe pair my ice cream with what I hope is going to be number 1.
All right, what about tiramisu?
Oh, tiramisu is real good.
Good, especially when it's good. When it's good, it's fucking good.
When
dude.
it's good. There's an Italian deli by us that make little tiramisu like cupcakes.
Oh, delightful.
Outrageous.
Dude, I'll tell you, when we worked at Vinny's and they had the homemade tiramisu, that shit was fucking just the best. Like when we started buying it out of the box or whatever, really lost its luster. Homemade fucking lady fingers, dude, so fucking. It was honestly absolutely incredible. Where are you putting it? You got 2 spots left, 1 and 3. Where are you putting it, Daddy?
I'm putting it at number 1. I'm putting a good tiramisu at number 1. If I'm at an Italian restaurant and it's on the menu for dessert and I have room left in my gut, I'm 100% always getting the tiramisu.
Okay. Very good.
Put it at 1.
Yep. And then what do you? I got 1 left. You got a guess?
Brownie, cupcake.
Close. Chocolate lava cake. That's your number 3, Daddy. So your list ended up being tiramisu at 1, ice cream at 2, chocolate lava cake at 3, macaroons at 4, and tres leche numero 5. Not a fan. Awesome.
I wouldn't change a single thing. That's the first perfect list that I've done. I would not change a single thing about that list. I am excessively happy with that. You know what? I was worried because what my real favorite dessert is.
What's that?
Pie. I love pie. I think pie is super underrated. So I was hoping I would get like an ice cream, like a vanilla ice cream with like a blueberry or an apple or a cherry pie, but I can live with
pie
that.
And fucking ice cream. Oh, dude, a little warm apple pie with a fucking scoop of Vanny on it. Oh, French Vanny.
Beat it.
I dare you. I fucking dare you.
It's a triple dogger. Triple dogger right there.
You know what I made the other night? Because like it was like Friday night, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's do a little something fun. A little something fun. We had some dinner, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna do kind of some ice cream sundaes for dessert, right?
Nice.
Like I got the whippy cream, the Sprinkies, the cherries, a couple syrups. But then you know what else I noticed we had in the freezer, Bern?
What's that, Matt?
Couple of fucking waffles, Daddy. Couple of fucking waffles.
Oh,
and I was like,
boy.
I told my daughter, I was like, you're about to get a life lesson here about the most amazing thing on the planet, and it's called waffles and ice cream. What do you know about that?
I mean, as you know, I don't live in a high income area, so I tend to be more of a crepe and cream kind of guy. But yeah, throw a little waffle in there. I mean, that's just smart because once you have all the other bases, like there's a lot of stuff you can throw in there. But like a waffle, a nice warm waffle. And you know what I think the key is there, Matty? It's why we like a nice warm apple pie. Something warm, the contrast with the ice cream and everything else. That's a smart move by you. How did she like it? Was she blown away?
Absolutely loved it. I mean, it's the texture too. You get rock hard ice cream, you put it on a warm waffle, it gets the perfect texture consistency of a possible soft serve almost, but a little better. It's just you can't beat it.
How was the cake your daughter made all by herself last week? How did that turn out?
Not good. You know what it
No?
was you know what it was?
Well, when I had spoken to you while we were recording the pod, you had gone upstairs and came back and you're like, my daughter's making cake. So far, it's just milk and maple syrup. And so I was interested to learn how it was going to end up.
And that's where it ended, Daddy. A little
That
milk
was it.
and maple syrup. And guess what she had to drink with her fucking lunch or whatever. Yeah. Yep. I was like, oh, here you go. This is going to be you're going to drink this because we're not wasting it. So yeah, she had some milk and maple syrup with her lunch.
I bet she loved it.
She had like a little baking sheet and it was like milk, and then she was like doing the maple. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And where's the other parent here? So, but yeah, that's how it went. But it was, it was all in good fun. It was
Adorable.
A snow day. So what are you gonna do?
Right. What are you going to do? You got to keep them busy somehow.
Yeah, it was fun. So, all right. Okay. So that was a good ranking, Bern. We are coming to the top of time. Anything you want to say before we get the fuck out of here?
I just can't wait for, I don't know. I guess what we got? Pitchers and catchers in a couple weeks, NCAA tournament. The sooner we can stop talking about the Super Bowl, the better for me, because I feel like I'm going to be hearing about this Birds bullshit for.
They're going to make a movie about this, dude. Disney's going to make a movie about this. About the young black running back from a small Pennsylvania town whose dream it was to play for his favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Dang.
Didn't they already make a movie about this?
No, it was about a guinea, not a black guy.
No, I was talking about Human Centipede.
Oh, that old you son of a bitch. He's offensive player of the year.
Listen, if there was one thing that I hate to admit out loud, and I don't hate admitting that I hate the goddamn Eagles, but it was hard for me to root against Saquon.
Sequans.
He wanted to be a Giant. He didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
We didn't offer him.
He didn't.
Left. Can't be mad at him. Can't be
the
mad at him
worst
for 1
thing
second.
I mean, it's just the worst that it was all recorded on video. But either way, Bern, you got to live with it now. Speaking of living with it, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents The Retorted Show. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content and all podcast platforms on YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. And also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at WorkingPPod. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you this incredible content. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Thanks. See ya.